friends, it's Amy at Doki Doki Forest, and today we are scraping paint and making a journal page. Now, what are we up to here? Well, I'm showing you a little behind the scenes of how I created one of the pages that is in my digital kit that is available exclusively through my Patreon. So if you sign up this month, which is July, you will receive the digital kit, and the theme is Fabulous Frogs. Fabulous Frogs, because the frogs have really inspired me with all of their singing, and I hear them every night. They're just so cute and happy out there. So that's what this is all about. So here's the behind the scenes of how I created the background image. So each month I would like to provide a character sheet and also a background, so that way you can just print it out and pop it right in your journal. I wanted to have 3 different elements in my background for this month. I wanted to do a green for the lily pads. I wanted to do a pink for the lily pad or lily flowers. And then here's the blue for the pond. So I'm trying to think very water-like as I'm creating this and making squiggly lines as I scrape the paint. Scraping paint is so much fun. And then I'm just trying to lighten it a little bit because I thought it was a little bit dark, and I really want to get some like watery effects in there so you can see the light catching it here and there. Just trying to give it a little more texture. And here's some bubbles in the pond. It's a very bubbly pond. There's a lot happening. And then with the little cork, I just dipped it in some paint and just trying to add some darker color bubbles, again, just to give it a little more interest and texture. And here are our 3 sheets we created, which I will then combine into one background. So the blue page, I don't have to do much to, as that's our base and that's the water. But now on the pink, I'm going to draw some pink lily flowers. And I'm just using one of my crayons to do that with. And I figured I would draw 3, and then I'll cut those out. And now on the green, I'm going to draw some lily pads. And I'm just going to draw some different sizes because I wasn't sure if I wanted big or small or what exactly the placement would be. Now that they're cut out, I'm putting them on the page, and this took some rearranging to do. I was using very large sheets of painty paper, so I couldn't fit the whole thing on my scanner. So it took a little finagling, but we got there. And now I'll move on to the journal with me portion of this video. So here is the digital kit journaling set that I have created for my patrons this month. I have this background, which was created from the painty paper that I made. So you have some lily pads and the pond and the flowers. And then I have these frog characters that I created. And they're kind of going in all different directions just so I could fit them on the page. And we have all different characters and poses. So we're going to take this and make a journal page with it. This is a Hitotoki notebook, and I think I'm going to use this for my Patreon rewards. I thought it would be cute if I had a little journal that I could put in what I was doing for themes and include what I had created. I love the square shape of this notebook. I haven't taken it out of the package before, so let's have a look. It has a plastic cover, which is nice because it keeps it safe from, if you accidentally spilled some water on there or anything like that. And this is so cute. It's got pockets here. You can tuck some little ephemera in, or a little business card there. Maybe I'll put my business card in there. And then, I see. So it's just a white piece of cardstock, not really that thick, and it's actually the plastic that has that design. So we put that there, and then here's the notebook. So it's not attached. So that's interesting. So it's just resting in there. So that's different. I didn't know that. Oh, and it has this pencil board too. It's clear, so it's a little bit hard to show. Well, you know what? Why don't I put it on there and then you can see. So that's nice. You get a little ruler and a little grid there just in case you wanted to figure out what you were doing. You can put this in between the pages, so that way the idea is that they don't, you know, if you're writing, hopefully it won't go through to this page. The plastic will prevent that. So that's always helpful. So this will be my Patreon journal here. And I'll decorate this in another video. I'll decorate because this is kind of nice. I've got a cover here. I've got the inside cover. I'll fill this out. But for today, let's just get in here and do a page. And I feel like I maybe will skip that because I don't want anything to go through onto this page. I think I might write about my Patreon. So I'm going to leave that, and I will, again, that'll be a different video when I go in and decorate that and write about what the heck I'm doing. So for this video, let's just get into the creating. So what can you do with this digital kit that I created for you? Well, you can print it out, and then you can do whatever you want. And actually, you probably saw earlier, but one of my prints came out black and white. Now, that's because the toner was low on my printer. But I'm not going to recycle this because I actually like this. So you could print it in black and white, and then you have more of a vintage style, or, you know, you could do some different things with that. But I would like this to be in color, so I'm going to use this, and then we have all our little froggies that we can cut out and use. Now with this, you could either tear it, you could cut it, you can do whatever you want. You can just tear parts of it, or you could just put the whole thing in, you know, like this, and glue it down. Which I could do. And your printer might have the option to do borderless printing. Mine does not. So mine will always have a border. But when you print yours, you can probably tell it to have a border. You can probably have borderless printing, and then that way you won't have these little scraps that you don't really have anything to do with. So I'm going to do something a little different. Let's see what we can do. We're just going to tear this so we can have the corner. And why do we want the corner? Well, that's so we can just put it like right here. And I will trim off the white. Let's set up our little pond scene here. Yeah, so these are the fabulous frogs. And I know it's frogs, but I thought it was funny to say frogs. And this is inspired because I have been hearing so many frogs lately. There are the spring peepers, which is what these are, but actually lately I've been hearing something a lot louder that's been singing. Something very happy has been singing in the back woods. There's just a whole chorus of frogs. Sounds like a bunch of bullfrogs or something. And my dog Sophia does not like it. She has been barking. She does not like these frog sounds at all. So that's been funny. So let's write down over on the, I haven't done a marker test. So this will be kind of good because I don't know if this will go through the paper. So let me move the pencil board over here, and then we'll just write down our header. And I'm just using these mild liner markers. They're double-ended so that you have this thicker end, which is great for underlining or highlighting, and then this end, which is my preferred end for writing. So we will write July 2023, and with the green we will write fabulous flogs. And that's so we can remember, because we don't want to lose track of what we've done. I also got some washi tape I thought would be cute, so I have 2 that have raindrops and 1 that has a froggy in the rain. Because that's the other thing about this summer, is that we have had a ton of rain. So I might add some washi to this as well. And I won't do anything too complicated with these spreads, because the idea is that, you know, I want to try to use things that you would have. So you may have some washi tape of any kind. It can be plain or what have you. And you can use any markers, of course, to write whatever you want. All right, so we'll take this corner, add some glue, put it down in that corner. So this is kind of nice. This is like giving us little edges there. And then we can, I think I want to try to rip this. Now, what you know what you can do? If you have edges like this too, you can get a ruler and rip it. And actually, Possum Patty was, you know what she did? She took the edge from, like, it was either a plastic wrap or Reynolds wrap box, you know, that jagged edge that you can rip your paper off or your plastic off. She's using that for her paper, and it's really nice because instead of having a flat edge like this, it's rough. So you can check out what she's up to, but she's always got some neat ideas. So that's something from around the house that you could use. Thank you, Possum Patty, for that idea. So you could do that if you want a rough edge. Or you could just use your scissors, of course, if you want a more defined edge, straight edge. And I don't mind if it's not perfect. I don't mind if it rips uneven, because the idea is that I just kind of want the edge of this to look more like water. So I don't want to cut it too perfectly or with scissors. But you do whatever you want. This is just what I'm up to. So I think what I will do is I will add this in right there like that. And this is just the background, so it's okay to rip it. And you can always print out another one if you decide you need a second one. So you don't have to be very precious about it. You can just use it. And if you need another one, you can print out another one. So I think I'm going to do mine a little bit all over the place. I'm going to do mine a little bit across like that. Should I do that? Or... and your paper might be bigger than mine as well. Mine is not huge, so I'm just going to do what I have room for on here. And I don't want this to actually be a corner. I want it to be rounded. So we'll just round that a little bit. Make it just a little bit messier. But of course you can do whatever you like. And I know I always say that, but it's just because there's no right or wrong way to do this. It's just whatever speaks to you. And you can just layer them on top of each other. Because, you know, ponds are messy. And there are lily pads on top of lily pads. And there are lily pads on top of lily pads and flowers just blooming out from in between everywhere. So it's not all organized on the pond. It's its own kind of chaos, and that's what makes it beautiful. There are layers, not all orderly. And let me make sure. Sorry, my chair is very squeaky. I know. And then I think I'm just going to do that like right there. And then we'll just rip off that end there. And if you wanted to, you could even go in here. You could write in here, so you could just, if you don't want to put this whole thing down, you can just write on these empty spaces. Which may be what I wind up doing. Let's see if I want to add another flower. And you can add them however you want. You can turn them around. And I think I might add that one over there. And again, I can just trim the edge. And I'll do that after, when I'm going to neaten it up. I don't mind things sticking off the edge. I could leave it. You never know. And then sometimes you wind up with bits like this, but even this is okay because it could be something just coming in from the side. So I'm going to leave that for now, and we'll figure out what froggies we want to add. So maybe this little guy's singing, and this little guy on the leaf. Oh, and you can print these out on a cardstock too. I printed it out just on regular printer paper. So these are not thick or anything like that. It's just regular paper because I wanted to work with the same thing that most people might have. You might have cardstock, you might have a thicker paper, you might not. And if you want to make this thicker, you could just take this whole sheet and glue it to something else, to another piece of paper or, you know, something like that to make it a little bit thicker. But you certainly don't have to, and I'm not going to do that with this. I'm going to do it just as is, so that way, say you just printed this off, you could just take it and right away do this. And with my images, I like to have a little bit of a white border there, which you may or may not know, but I enjoy that. So that doesn't bother me. I don't need to fussy cut it and get rid of all of that, all of this white, because I do enjoy it. And I'm not going to glue it down yet. I'm just going to place him there while I cut out some other little guys here. Alright, so again, we have another froggy here. And I'll trim some of this, but again, I'm not going to be too picky. And this one can go like on this little lily pad there. He can be having a little song. Then we have, let's see, who else can we add? Actually, on the sheet that you download too, there's some little bubbles and stuff too you can cut out and put around. This one doesn't have the bubbles because this was one of my earlier prints. So it doesn't have my name on it and it doesn't have the bubbles. But it has the frogs, and that is the main focal point of these pages. Okay, so this one I might have like kind of coming in like that. And I think this guy on the leaf is going to be too big. This one with the little leaf umbrella maybe will work. And I have my little tadpole here. This happy little tadpole who would be in the water here, so maybe he's kind of swimming under over there. And I could cut out this lily pad. And then I can save the other frogs for later if I want to. So I could even put this like over here, have a little lily pad, or I could put it up here under my title. I could kind of layer it on top of that lily pad, so it gives it like a little, another little layer there. And I don't think this guy will work unless I was to put that one up there. Well, I still don't think that would quite work. And you know, you just play around with the images however you want. And I do want to have room to write, so I might leave it at that for today and save those froggies. I think that is pretty good. I don't want to cover up the ripped because I like the tear there, so I think I will layer that right there. I think that works for me. Now we get these guys glued on with just a glue stick, just using a regular glue stick. Well, this is sort of my fancier glue stick, my almond one, but you don't need to use that. I'm just using it while I have it, and then once it's gone, I will go back to something else I have here, probably like some kind of Elmer's glue or something like that. This guy's having like a little concert over here. And it's okay if it's on the fold. We'll just kind of fold it like that. Get our little tadpole over there swimming. And I do like them tucked under here a little bit. There we go. And finally, we will get our frog on. It's like a blade of grass or a stem sort of thing here. And I can have him just coming right out like this. And I could even cover that up with a little bit of blue. If I have a little bit of blue somewhere. Do I have a little bit of blue? I've got a little scrap, these little scraps. They're just little scraps, but see, this will be just enough to cover up the bottom, and then it's as if that blade is like growing out of the water a little bit. You don't need a lot. You just need a little. So I think that will be just enough for what we're trying to achieve there. And I'll just make it a little bit. All right, we have our fabulous frogs. Next, we can add, I can use this Tombow marker, and this is, sorry, my fingers are a little sticky. I can use this Tombow marker, and this is actually really nice for, you can write with it, of course, but the other thing you can do is just like kind of play with it like this, and you give yourself a little space to write on. And it just gives it like a little, and the more you go over it, the darker it can get. But that can be a really nice effect for writing. Just kind of highlights the spot where you might write a little something. Or you could just have that be the water. Just kind of have that here and there throughout. There we go, so we've got a little bit of water there. And I'll put that back. And then, let me see, do I want to add any, I don't really think I need to add the washi. I thought I might, but I think I'll leave that, even though this frog washi, can you see this frog washi is so cute, these little froggies with their umbrellas. They're very cute. I mean, I could just do it a little bit across the top like that. I think I will. They just kind of go with the title. Hold on, little frogs. Go after the exclamation point. There we go. We can line up these little froggies. 1, 2, 3. Cut that off there, but I do like this guy's little expression, so can I sneak him somewhere on the page? Maybe I'll just sneak him right down there. It's just really cute. Okay. Then we can go ahead and do our writing. So for the writing, Oh, let's see how this marker did. Well, the marker did not really go through there either. So that's impressive. That's great. So this is a pen that I really like to write with. This is a Uniball Signo. And I do really like this one for just writing. For some reason it feels like very smooth to write with. Alright, so I did a little bit of writing there just to fill in those spaces. And you can do some little doodles in here if you wanted to. You could add some bubbles. You could put some stickers in here if you wanted to. I am going to go ahead and leave it at that. And for now, I'm going to leave these bits hanging off the edge because I don't mind it. I may wind up trimming them later, but for right now, I like it. So I'm just going to glue this guy, make sure he stays there. So that's it. Here is the page I created using the digital kit for July. If you happen to use this digital kit and make a journal page, definitely tag me. Definitely let me know because I would love to see what you've done. I would love to see what you've done with the background, with the characters, how you've arranged your page, what are they up to. So yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate you guys hanging out with me. I hope you are enjoying a wonderful July, and I will see you again soon. Bye-bye for now.